Hey loves, hello, it's me. So, I've been asked a couple of times actually to talk about my Flexi Hand and kind of give you guys a bit of a review. So, let's get into this. Okay, first of all, sorry about my nails, they're growing out, I know. I'll put the details of where I purchased my Flexi Finger. I went back over PayPal and got the details of how much it costs and where I purchased mine from here in the UK. Delivery was super fast, everything was perfect, it was packaged beautifully. So I will do that. I'm going to cover setting it up, how it works, the pluses and minuses, and also how to keep it clean. So yes, I guess let's get going. Okie dokie. First of all, and a huge plus in my books, is how the Flexi Finger attaches to the surfaces. So you need something like a tiled surface or a flat, sort of smooth, suckable surface. Something that this can attach to. Okay, so I basically make the bottom of this slightly damp and then use like water, and then I attach it. Now the mechanism is quite stiff for me. I've got problems with my joints. Sometimes I struggle to use this. That's probably the only downside to its sturdiness. It's incredibly kind of tough and will put up, you can't budge it once it's locked into place, which is brilliant because you don't have this thing flopping all over the place. However, it is a bit difficult for me sometimes, but that's okay. That's me, that's not everybody else. So I'm going to show you how this connects now. So I'm just making this wet here, just damp there. A little bit of water on my hands. I'm going to attach it where I know you're going to be able to see it, okay, which is there. So I'm just going to move this right out the way so you can see what I'm doing. That's what I like, every piece moves separately. All you do to lock it into place is pull this down, like so. That's not going anywhere. Can you hear that? That's the table, okay? That's not going anywhere now until you pull that back up and release the tab at the back. This cog here rotates the whole actual arm forwards and backwards. So to bring it back into place, I just loosen that, pull it up, and there we go, okay? As well as that, you've also got separate areas. So you've got an area here, which loosens and tightens, and you've got one here that holds this in nice and tight. So you've got a ball joint so you can move this around, and the whole time you can set that position, it's not going to move. You set that position, it's not going to move. And that is one of the positives that I absolutely love about this. I've left my hand dusty so I can show you how we clean it. So it's so simple. This is how we attach the fingers and thumb. Each finger and thumb is made of the silicone, and it has a mechanism through there that literally attaches to here. It's ridiculously simple and so clever. You slide them on. I'm just going to lock this a bit more into place because I feel like it's a bit loose. That's better. Tighten that up. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Slide them on. Got my thumb. Wiggle. Let's pull you out a little bit. Okay. I always struggle with which finger goes where, so I just sort of stick them anywhere, really. I think that one's meant to be like the index finger, I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter though, I guess. They slide on, they fit nice and snug. Another thing, let me show you quickly, is the underside is flat. So you can remove your Flexi Finger from here to cure it under a light, and you know it's going to lay flat, it's not going to bounce anywhere. So you can literally lay it flat down like that on the table. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's all the fingers attached. And you can pull one forward to work on it if you want that one slightly away from the others. You can push them back. Obviously, a downside is that the individual fingers are bouncy and not movable like some of them are. But it's just so sturdy. And for the price point, which I think including postage was just over £75, I think, was it 75 or 79? You know I've put it on the screen already. It really is good value for money in my eyes. So to clean it, I use isopropyl alcohol and normally my lint-free pads. However, my lint-free pads are packed away in the car because I went over to my mum's to do her nails and I forgot to unpack them. I forgot to unpack them and I'm being lazy. So I'm going to take some kitchen towel, which is just as easy to use. I'm going to soak it with a bit of isopropyl alcohol, which is like prep spray, okay? And I just wipe it and go over and it will remove the dust. It doesn't affect it in a negative way at all. You can take each finger off and do it individually. You can do them all together. Sometimes if I've got tiny fine particles of dust, I'll just get a lint-free, one of those sticky roller pads that picks up like hair, and I'll use that, but it's fine. Now onto how we actually use the Flexi Hand. You can sculpt, however what you need if you're going to sculpt is the kind of sculpting form that Glitter Planet UK do, which comes all the way around and attach underneath, because you're not going to get adhesion here because this is silicone. You may be able to attach electrical tape or something here, or some kind of tape here, and then attach your form to it, which would work fine. Or you can merely use this to practice your skill set and just insert tips. And when you get the right fitting tip, it's so easy. So I've just literally bought from eBay a selection of practice tips in all sizes, full coverage, long tips. And you just match the size up, because what you've got here are nice deep like side walls where the growth channels would be. And it goes back up under where the cuticle is, so you slide that nail back up. So it's just about judging which shape, which size is going to fit which nail. Same as you would if you were applying a tip to a client, and you just slide it up like that. Now you can push these pretty far up, but obviously you're going to lose that fitting there. So if you're using square tips, that's fine. I just pull mine down a little bit. I tend to chop the end and do coffin anyway. Super, super easy. Let me see if I can zoom that in for you. Okay, so as you can see, it just goes in super easy, comes out super easy. There's no cleanup. So a lot of the designs I've done recently, for example, this was done on here. I can't remember which nail this was in. That might have been this one. See? Beautiful. The only downside that I have with this really is, there's two actually. Hang on. So the two problems that I have, and they're not really that big, are number one, the difficulty for sculpting, but that can be overcome. Obviously I've discussed the mechanism side, and just filing, which I'll give you an example of the trouble that I have with filing and how I overcome it. So let's take this tip, for example, and pop it in here, okay? And we're just going to have a little file. Now, if I don't, so first of all, I'll move these out the way. And that solves that problem, which I love. You don't have like to hook other fingers out the way. You can concentrate on the work you're doing on that particular nail. I really like that feature. It's very, very good. But I have an issue with the filing side of it. this often does that as well a bit. There. Okay. The filing side of it. Let's pull you out a little bit. So what you're going to see is if I just go in like I would a normal client, where I'm holding this and file the sidewall, see that? The nail's moving side to side. And if I do this, it's just going to do that. So what you need to do is support it hard from here, and you can file a lot easier. Or, and this is quite often what I do, I will remove it. So say for example, where's my pretty nail gone? Oh my God. Bear with me. We'll just do a brief interlude while I find my work. Okay, say for example, here's my nail. And I've made my nail, I love this design. I've made my nail in here and I want to file it. I will remove it and I'll just file it by hand, do my filing work, da 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 da, as I would normally, and then reinsert it. It's not helpful if you're trying to practice filing on a client. It's fiddly. But if you're just looking for design work and practicing your skill set, it's fine. I mean, let's be realistic. Overall, the price point on this is incredibly low in comparison to some of the other plastic, my God, practice hands out there. This price point is a lot lower, and it's very sturdy, and it makes your acrylic or gel application easy because it doesn't move. But the mechanism is quite stiff. The fingers can be a bit tricky with the tips slipping and stuff like that. You don't have any real maintenance. You don't have to soak off or file off. You just remove, and it's done. You can work on your next. You can work on your next set of nails. So that in itself saves a lot of time. I would recommend it. I'm really happy with my purchase. Initially, when I first got it, I was a little bit disappointed and I was like, oh God, I can't get the hang of it. But now I've used it a lot. It's just so easy to whip it out, pop some tips in and have a play, and then take the tips away and pack it away. There's no fuss, no soaking, no filing, no fuss. So for me, it's a huge thumbs up. Me. Like I said, I'll put the information in the description box below if you want to go and purchase one. If you want to find your supplier, just type in Flexi Hand suppliers into Google and your area, and it will find your nearest supplier. And that's it from me. I will have some more design work coming, so keep your eyes peeled. If there's anything else you want me to cover, then let me know. Take care. Bye.